Coming up on this edition of Access Virginia Beach, a long recovery. Hurricane Matthew wreaks havoc in the resort city, and cleanup efforts are in full swing. Plus, CyberSafe will offer you some tips on keeping safe while online. And a historic groundbreaking. Ground is broken on a shelter for homeless individuals and families. That and more coming up as we access Virginia Beach. Hello and welcome to VBTV's Access Virginia Beach, a program that informs you of news and events from around our city and schools. I'm Mickey Aceto. Thanks for joining us. Hurricane Matthew wreaked havoc all over Hampton roads, dropping a massive amount of rain in a very short period of time. As a result, families across the city suffered personal loss and damage to their homes. Governor Terry McAuliffe, Mayor Sessoms, and other city leaders toured the waterlogged neighborhoods to assess the damage and gather information.
It was a unique storm. As you know, on Wednesday we had been told that the storm was moving out east, was moving out to sea. But what occurred on Saturday evening is the warm air and the cold air collided to produce a record amount of rainfall and high winds, which for many communities was just plain devastating. I am hoping to send a letter to the President requesting FEMA assistance to assist the individuals and the businesses who have been impacted. We clearly have met the threshold of $11 million. I think right now in Virginia Beach alone, we're over $25 million. And we will now send the letter of request up to the President once we've gone through and put all the procedures in place, get that money back here. I want all the residents to know that we are on top of this. We are going to get help from the federal government to assist you.
You think about everything being so good when no lives are lost. You know, I think of Saturday night and the first responders doing a superb job taking people out of cars that be covered with water, saving their lives, getting people out of homes, saving their lives. But then, you know, the day after, you know, you've got to deal with the aftermath, and it's you don't realize what it's like till you get out there and see, you know, these individuals that they've lost everything. What was in their house is gone. They're not able to live in their house. Their car's gone, and they're devastated. That's the reason we're here, making every effort to be able to help these people. And I believe in a short time period, with the commitment you just heard, that we will be able to help.
Saturday, the storm came in, and we had no advance warning. Everybody expected it to turn. Then as it got worse and as the water came up, neighbors came over and helped move things and save property. We were able to relocate the vehicles here, so we didn't lose any vehicles either, so that was good. So we were very lucky with all that. Grateful that the governor came out and Mr. Sessoms, and that they're looking at trying to get the aid out in this area. That just shows a lot that the state government's looking into that, because that's the level that needs to get involved to make that happen.
In Virginia Beach, there was more than $17 million in residential losses alone. The city, community members, and volunteers came together to help out those in need. Let's take a look at some of the cleanup efforts.
Sunday and Monday, we couldn't go nowhere. We was trapped inside because the water level was so high.
We learned on Wednesday about an apartment complex where several hundred households had to leave, and we acted really quickly on that. The apartment complex was very helpful, and to the best of our knowledge, most of those people have gotten alternative housing arrangements.
The complexes here, they helped out. They came through. At first it was very slow motion because it was new, and they only had 2 managers here, and you got over 300 apartments here, and everybody's coming at once. Everybody is upset. People came from all over and started showing that they care. The church next door also assisted in a great deal.
Cities recognize that there are people with various needs due to the flood, and we're opening assistance centers near where people are so that they can come to the centers and we can provide assistance that they qualify for, that we've made available.
If you look from house to house to house, you can see that everybody has a water line on their house. So everybody's been hit. We have a couple of different engines kind of canvassing the area. Fire rescue one's also there. And like I said, it's priority one just to make sure that people are safe and they have the information that they need to be able to further prepare themselves for what's to come.
So for homeowners affected by the flood, there are many issues they face. They need a cleanup of their home. They may need temporary repairs to prevent further weather damage. They may need a place to stay because it's not habitable. And then finally, they may need the long-term repairs that will bring their home back to the way it was again. While the city is not necessarily helping with each of those, we're trying to bring the appropriate resources to folks to address all those different needs.
If your home or business suffered damage from Hurricane Matthew, call your insurance company first. They will determine what is covered. The city is also asking property owners to report damage by calling 385-3111 or visiting vbgov.com/stormupdate. Planting new roots. That was the theme recently at a long-awaited groundbreaking ceremony in Virginia's largest city.
What a great crowd. What a great day in the greatest city in the world, Virginia Beach.
Hundreds gathered to celebrate the start of construction on the Housing Resource Center, just off Witch Duck Road and Cleveland Street.
Oh, this is a tremendous day. We're so excited. It's been a long time coming. Andy Friedman, who's been the director, has been instrumental along with the faith-based organizations trying to get this together for over 20 years.
All that hard work came to fruition recently with the groundbreaking ceremony of the Housing Resource Center. It will become the center of Virginia Beach's efforts to end homelessness.
Before I begin my remarks, you never know what's going to happen to you the next day. Saturday night, a lot of people went to sleep in their home that they own, and all of a sudden the storm got a whole lot worse than people anticipated. Well, in this neighborhood, a large number of homes now you cannot live in. And those individuals that live in those homes right now, not only do they not have a place to live right now, but they've lost everything that they own.
The mayor's remarks about the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew bestowed the need of the center now more than ever.
This is going to be the focus of community efforts to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-reoccurring. We're going to have an intake system to identify the most needy and the most vulnerable. We're going to have a day services center for people who may still be on the street, 47 beds of shelter, 10 family motel-style rooms, and 30 longer-term apartments for single people.
Foreman Sessoms got the construction started by manhandling the jackhammer. The Lighthouse, currently the home of the homeless, is 3,000 square feet. The Housing Resource Center, with all its new amenities, is close to 40,000 square feet. Construction will begin soon, and the center is expected to open in the spring of 2018. Staying safe in our cyber-connected world is a constant challenge. Threats are everywhere. Scammers, hackers, predators, and thieves are actively working to steal personal information, access accounts, and take advantage of people. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and Virginia Beach recently hosted a forum that helped launch its Practice Safe Cyber campaign.
Number one goal of hackers, it's really to compromise personal information. They want to get as much information about us as they can, and it's usually for monetary gain. So the goal is to get your money, and they're lazy. They want to do it as easy as possible.
It's hard to trace the activities of these cyber thieves.
It's really hard to catch these guys. One of the number one reasons is they can use the web to their advantage, the dark web. And the problem is you can't search like we're used to working in Google, where we could do a simple search. In the dark web, you can't simply do a search and find somebody. So what they do is they're going to prey in that environment, and they'll use what's called the Tor web. And in the Tor, they'll use a browser. It's free and it's anonymous.
Some simple practices can help ensure the privacy of your online accounts.
What I always say is it's essential to use best practices. A lot of times we are lazy. We don't create a long and strong password. We create a password that's easy for us to remember, and it's easy to hack at the same time. So I always encourage people, make your password at least 12 characters long, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols. Write it down, lock it somewhere safe. so no one else can find it. Never share the password with anyone, and never reuse the same password on multiple sites.
The city has partnered with the Department of Homeland Security's Stop, Think, Connect initiative and the National Cybersecurity Alliance to kick off a year-long campaign designed to give people the tools to stay safe online. A new website, vbgov.com/practicesafecyber, will be updated regularly, and each month it will feature a different cybersecurity theme. 8th grade students from the Brickell Academy at Old Donation School launched the study of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird with a Southern picnic. Fried chicken, cornbread, baked beans, barbecue, and some Skinnerd. All the fixins for a down-home style Southern picnic. The picnic featured a buffet of Southern food, lawn games, and music. To Kill a Mockingbird explores social issues in the Jim Crow South during the Great Depression.
The picnic is an opportunity in the fall here to give our students a chance to explore some of the elements of Southern culture and tradition that they'll encounter when we read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Students soaked up the sunshine while sprawled out on blankets as they munched on some Southern cuisine. It was a nice break from the books. Rain canceled the first scheduled picnic, but the sun was bright and shining on this day.
We're eating lots of Southern foods and playing games on the lawn and hopefully exercising some Southern manners and hospitality.
Learning manners and having fun were part of the plan, but a lesson was also being taught.
It kind of introduces the book and the serious ideas and the topics of like segregation and racism.
Initially, I talked about growing up and doing depression. I added segregation.
Guest speaker Leo Williams grew up and experienced life in the South during the decades in which the novel was set. Williams graduated from the University of Virginia in the first class of African-American undergraduate students admitted during the Civil Rights Movement.
In the novel, in addition to celebrating the culture and traditions of the South, Harper Lee also examines the harder parts of our shared history, the racism, the segregation. And Mr. Williams is a first-person witness to some of those years in our state's history as a student of segregated schools and later as a principal and educator.
The presentation was recorded so future generations of students can hear about life during the Great Depression. Each month, Superintendent Aaron Spence highlights one student, staff, or community partner that is driven, passionate, and determined. The video is then presented to the school board during their meetings. Today, we're sharing the story of Cara Cupka, a 3rd grade teacher at Thoroughgood Elementary School.
It's gooey, smudgy. It smells like, I don't know.
We were doing our first science investigation as a class. We just started our matter unit, so it's called oobleck.
Something would feel that it's hard. You think it's this is the oobleck?
It smells bad. What happens when you try to pick it up? My philosophy is definitely hands-on. Hands-on, I think, is probably the most important thing that you can do. We're a digital anchor school this year, so we have a lot of technology available to us, which is amazing. But when it comes to science, getting your hands dirty, I think, is the best way. Just letting them have that opportunity to experience and understand what STEM is and what an engineer really does, and so they might not have had that opportunity before. I like to use the lab coats and the goggles because they feel like they're dressing up as the part. They feel like a real scientist. They get really into it. They have a lot of fun. So we were doing our first science investigation where they had to decide if a substance was a solid or a liquid. And so they had to observe and use their senses to decide. Letting them kind of take the reins, and today I just said, okay, you're just going to be writing down what you observe in your journal. I didn't really tell them exactly what I wanted to see, I just let them do it.
When I think about Cara is that she thinks like a scientist, she was an engineer, and therefore she brings that type of thinking to the children, and I think that that experience from being an engineer really makes a world of difference.
I love when I have students come up to me and say, Ms. Cupka, I want to be an engineer when I grow up. So that's been really rewarding. You want your kids to come to school excited every day. I love when my kids come to me in the morning, are we doing science today? Are we doing science today? And when I tell them that we are, they get really excited. Or when I get an email from a parent, thank you so much. My child's so excited to come in. They're so excited to do the STEM activities.
When she plans science lessons, they are hands-on, engaging, exciting, and she's all about having the children really experience what it's like to do an experiment.
I love when I get students who come to me and say, I hate math, or I'm not good at math. And at the end of the year, you see huge growth. They have that confidence. They pass their SOLs. At the end of the year, when my kids leave, I am happy for them, because they've been really successful. They've made growth in so many different ways. I'm also sad because I've really gotten to know them, and I wish that I could spend more time with them, have them in my room for longer. So it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics occupations are growing at 17%. As a result, VBCPES teachers are introducing more and more STEM education to their students. Coming up next on this edition of Access Virginia Beach, we'll show you how Town Center transformed the resort city. Plus, 241 years old, that's a lot of candles. We'll take you to the celebration. We'll have that and more when we return. Welcome back to Access Virginia Beach. I'm Mickey Aceto. The city of Virginia Beach had planned a downtown project for decades, but construction did not begin until around 2000. Now, 16 years later, Town Center is a huge success.
Things like the Town Center had been talked about before. Nobody really took those plans seriously at that time. I remember looking at the Central Business District Association plan that the council had endorsed for the Town Center, and talking to council members about it, the reaction was, that'll probably never happen. It's a good thing to think about, but I don't think we can ever make that happen.
We had a number of property owners come forward to try to assemble that area, to develop it. Nothing worked out. There was false start after false start. And finally, Gerald Tavares and Armada Hoffler were able to play a really, really strong and good role in being the entity to push that forward.
There was no city center in Virginia Beach. It was a suburban community, and I was used to living and working in an urban environment. I had resistance from, naturally, Norfolk, who saw this as potential competition. I had resistance from the typical folks in the market who say, you can't do anything that's progressive, just stay as status quo and not see life advance. The politicians didn't get the picture, and the other developers in the market were used to two-story office buildings, three-story office buildings. High-rise office building was an anathema to them.
I believe that we've surpassed pretty much everybody's expectations, even our own expectations. Town Center is now home to in the neighborhood of 110 tenants with well over 1 million square feet of office and retail space. Of those 110 tenants, over half of those are new to Virginia Beach, and a third of them are new to Hampton Roads. We have over 700 residences 400 and some odd hotel rooms, 3,000 municipally owned parking spaces. I don't think any of us could have foreseen the kind of success that we've had.
Town Center has turned out to be a tremendous investment since the city first began planning for this in 1999. Over the 16 years since the initiation of Town Center, the city has invested about $100 million in public parking garages, plazas, and streetscapes. As a result of that investment, private development has invested approximately $500 million. So it's a great return on the city's investment. Town Center has actually paid for itself. In addition to generating enough real estate taxes to support the debt on the public investment, Town Center also generates other business taxes such as sales tax, meals tax, hotel tax. Those taxes amount currently to about $7.5 million a year, most of which goes to the city's general fund that would support our teachers, our policemen, our firemen, libraries, parks, and roads.
The employees love it. They absolutely love it. And the thing that was unexpected is that we've actually had a lot of our millennials move to Town Center. There's so many apartments that have been built down here now that some of them don't even own a car. And they really like the activities that they can go to after work. That's really what they're looking for. And so that's really one of the driving forces is why we were trying to move to a location like this, because we have to attract the best and the brightest if we want to stay in business.
We have 2 more phases of Town Center planned. We've gotten some good momentum on the retail side, on the residential side, and on the hotel side. I'd like to think it's going to continue to build the momentum that's formed the base here, and that you're going to see more exciting opportunities for people to live, work, and play here at Town Center.
Town Center is not just going to be these 10 city blocks. It's going to be much, much bigger than that.
Town Center is located in the Central Business District, 9 miles from the oceanfront and 10 miles from downtown Norfolk. A new app allows parents to monitor lunch balances, make cafeteria payments, view menus, and more. Let's take a look at how it works.
School Café is the new brand from Parent Online, same company that's our Parent Online all software vendor. They've got our profit loss revenues, our point of sales machines, our inventory, all under that umbrella. Parent Online was the feature last year that parents could go online and make payments and show up in the cafeteria so the kid didn't have to handle cash. This is a new modified Cadillac version of that. It's Parent Online, same company, but with a new moniker, new appearance, new toys. Everything's moving mobile and everybody wants to access information at that moment. So just like mobile banking, you can go on there at any point in time and see what your child's balance is and whether or not they need money added or not. That's one feature. But the better feature for us is the menus now online. So they can go on there and access the menus for the week, breakfast, lunch. They can look at the nutritionals. They can see calories, fats, all those types of things for every item. A really cool feature is they can build their tray. So they can go out and pick the menu items they want, see all that, and then when they're done, they can actually rate the items as far as 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, which is great feedback for us. We're always trying to improve the offerings for the kids. So if we get an item that's red hot, maybe we didn't know it was that hot, we can offer that more often. Or if it's something that's an absolute dud, nobody's buying it, that gives us feedback as well so we can modify the menu.
You can register for the new app at schoolcafe.com. There are 9 academy and advanced academic programs in the school division. Each program offers additional academic choices for students. Bayside High School's Health and Sciences Academy is one of those programs. It immerses students in the medical sciences and prepares them for college. If you're interested in attending one of the school division's academy programs, you must submit an application. Applications are now available on vbschools.com. Each program has specific application requirements, so contact your school guidance counselor for more information. The deadline for all academy programs and advanced academic programs applications is January 9th, 2017. North Landing Elementary School pulled out all the stops recently to help celebrate a big day in American history.
Happy birthday, U.S. Navy. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
That's right, matey. On October 13th, the United States Navy turned 241 years old.
It's a great day. The fact that North Landing was chosen to have these representatives from the Navy come on the 241st birthday of the United States Navy is awesome.
Good morning, how you doing?
Sailors in dress whites greeted students as they arrived at school. Then it was off to visit students in the classroom.
It's a great opportunity, and definitely grateful that Virginia Beach Public Schools allow us to be here today. I would say it's definitely an experience to hear what the kids have to say, especially since, just a predominantly military community, and a lot of them are affected by deploying parents and so on.
I like the colors and the shapes on the flag.
So the flag makes you feel proud. I love it.
Just trying to talk to them a little bit about naval history. We had the opportunity to speak with some children about why they were proud to be from America, which was a pretty enlightening experience to see, that the things we're out there doing are appreciated by kids.
Good question. Yes.
What kind of problems are there on the water?
What kind of problems?
Students across the campus took turns asking questions about what these guys do to protect our country.
I gotta say this is gonna be a big day because we gotta honor the military of what they do.
I'm really proud because they're the ones that get the ships that bring our food and drinks here, and they help our country and fight for us.
Many students at North Landing have parents or family members who serve in various branches of the military. Their engagement with their guests surprised administrators.
I'm surprised by the involvement. We went into a first grade classroom, and we have classroom meetings every day. Every classroom has a meeting, and our first grade teacher incorporated the Navy into their morning meeting by having their opening sharing session about what they're proud about to be living in the United States. And here they are, 6 years old, and they were all able to verbalize what they were proud of.
The U.S. Navy was founded in 1775. Currently, this branch of the service has 276 deployable ships, close to 1 million active and reserve personnel, and flies the skies worldwide with more than 3,700 aircraft. I'm quite sure you've heard them flying overhead. And with that, we've come to the end of our show, and today we mean that literally. After 28 years on the air, Access Virginia Beach, as we know it, is coming to an end. Instead of our bi-weekly show, we will begin producing and uploading our stories immediately, instantly bringing you up to date on the latest happenings in both the city and school division. Of course, you can still view this program, along with all of our other content, online at vbgov.com/media. For everyone here at VBTV, I'm Mickey Aceto. Thanks to each and every one of you for watching.
I'm Stephanie Sutton. Thanks for watching.
I'm Diana Cartwright. Thanks for watching.
I'm Georgine Jones, and thanks for watching.
I'm Veronica Coleman. Thanks for watching.
I'm Peter Van Heest, and thanks for watching.